Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about a simple but powerful truth. Don't tell people your problems. We live in a world where troubles come like waves upon the shore. They rise, they crash, and they seem unending. But hear me now. Running from person to person, telling them your burdens will not bring the peace you seek. In fact, it often does the opposite. It drains your strength and it burdens others who may already be carrying loads of their own. Now, don't misunderstand me. I am not saying you should walk alone. No, my friends, we were made for fellowship, for love, for encouragement. But there is only one who can truly understand the depths of your sorrow. Only one who can lift you up when the world has knocked you down. People will listen for a moment, but soon they will turn away, caught up in their own struggles. Some will pity you, some will judge you, and some will even use your pain against you. But there is a place where your burdens are always heard. A place where you are never turned away. That place is before the throne of God. Instead of running to man with your troubles, run to God. Pour out your heart before Him. The Word tells us, cast your burdens on the Lord, and He will sustain you. When you place your problems in His hands, He will give you strength. He will give you wisdom. He will give you peace that passes all understanding. So today I urge you, stop seeking sympathy from the world. Stop looking for answers in broken places. Take your troubles to the one who holds the universe in His hands. Trust Him, and you will find that even in the midst of your trials, you can stand strong, unshaken, filled with a peace that no man can take away. When we face struggles in life, our first instinct is often to share our problems with others. We hope that by doing so, we will find comfort, advice, or even a solution. However, more often than not, sharing our problems with people leads to unintended consequences, judgment, pity, or gossip. People are naturally inclined to form opinions. When you open up about your difficulties, you expose yourself to the risk of being judged. Some may see your struggles as a sign of weakness. They may assume that you are at fault for your problems, that you are not strong enough to handle them, or that you lack wisdom in dealing with life's challenges. Instead of offering genuine help, they may look down on you, thinking to themselves, if it were me, I would have handled it differently. This kind of judgment does not ease your burden. It only adds to your emotional weight. You begin to feel self-conscious, second-guessing yourself, wondering if you made a mistake in confiding in them. Then there are those who, instead of judging you, will pity you. While sympathy might seem comforting at first, it can quickly become suffocating. Some people will not see you as a strong individual overcoming a challenge, but as someone who is weak, helpless, or incapable of handling life. They may treat you differently, not because they want to support you, but because they now see you through the lens of your problem. They may start to speak to you in a condescending way or constantly bring up your struggle, making it harder for you to move forward. This kind of pity can make you feel stuck, like your identity is now tied to your problems rather than your strengths. Perhaps the most dangerous response to sharing your problems is gossip. Not everyone who listens to your struggles has your best interests at heart. Some people simply enjoy spreading news, whether true or exaggerated. They may not intend to harm you, but in their desire to share a story, they might twist your words, add their own opinions, or spread your personal matters to those who have no business knowing them. Before you know it, people you never even spoke to are aware of your struggles, forming opinions about you based on second-hand information. This can be incredibly painful, turning what should have been a private matter into public discussion. The more you tell people about your problems, the more you open yourself up to these risks. People can disappoint, misunderstand, or even betray you. Instead of finding peace, you may find yourself more burdened, more anxious, and more frustrated. What was once a personal struggle now becomes a source of social discomfort, forcing you to deal not only with the original problem, but also with the consequences of sharing it with the wrong people. This is not to say that you should never seek help or confide in anyone. There are times when wise counsel is needed, and trusted individuals can provide guidance and support. But you must be discerning. Not everyone who listens to you cares for you. Not everyone who offers advice has your best interest in mind. And not everyone who promises confidentiality will keep it. Instead of running to people at every moment of trouble, turn to God first. He does not judge unfairly. He does not pity in a way that weakens you. And he never gossips about your problems. He listens. He understands, and he provides solutions beyond human wisdom. When you place your trust in him, you will find peace, strength, and direction without the risks that come with relying on people. Be careful whom you share your burdens with. Not every ear that listens is a friendly one. Guard your heart, seek God first, and choose wisely whom you confide in. In doing so, you will find not only relief, but also the wisdom to navigate life's difficulties with grace and strength. Life is filled with challenges, and when we face difficulties, we often turn to others for support, expecting them to understand and help us through our struggles. However, one important truth that many overlook is that people have their own struggles, their own battles, and their own burdens to carry. As much as they may want to help, they may not truly understand what you are going through. And in many cases, they may not even be capable of offering the help you need. Every person you meet is dealing with something. Some are struggling with financial troubles, others with broken relationships, health issues, or emotional burdens they have never spoken about. They may appear to have everything together, but deep inside, they could be carrying unseen weights of their own. When you approach them with your struggles, they may listen, they may nod, they may offer words of encouragement, but deep down, they are still wrestling with their own difficulties. This makes it hard for them to truly focus on your problems or offer the kind of support you are looking for. Even when someone wants to help, their understanding is often limited. No two people experience pain in the same way. What may seem like a small problem to one person could be overwhelming to another. Sometimes when you share your struggles, people respond with statements like, "I've been through worse," or "That's nothing compared to what I've dealt with." Instead of feeling understood, you may feel dismissed or belittled. People rarely see the full picture of what you are experiencing, and because of that, they cannot truly grasp the depth of your pain. In many cases, even if someone understands what you are going through, they may not have the wisdom or ability to help. Advice from others often comes from their own experiences, but their solutions may not apply to your unique situation. People tend to give answers based on what worked for them. But just because something worked for one person does not mean it will work for another. You may pour out your heart to someone, hoping for guidance, only to receive advice that feels shallow, impractical, or completely unrelated to your situation. Instead of clarity, you may walk away feeling more confused than before. Sometimes people simply do not want to be burdened with the problems of others. It is not necessarily because they are unkind, but because they are already overwhelmed by their own struggles. When you share your difficulties with someone who is already dealing with personal challenges, they may not have the emotional energy to offer you the support you need. You might notice them growing distant, avoiding deep conversations, or even changing the subject whenever you try to talk about your struggles. This can be hurtful, but it is a reminder that people are limited in how much they can carry. Not just their own burdens, but the burdens of others as well. Additionally, some individuals may listen to your problems, but instead of offering real help, they might use the information against you. There are those who take pleasure in hearing about the struggles of others, not out of concern, but out of curiosity or even amusement. They may pretend to care, but in reality they have no intention of helping. Instead, they may spread your struggles as gossip, using your pain as a topic of discussion rather than treating it with the respect it deserves. This is why it is important to be selective about whom you confide in. Not everyone is equipped to help, and not everyone has the heart to genuinely care. Instead of relying on people to fully understand or fix your problems, turn to God. Unlike people, He is never too busy, too burdened, or too limited to help you. He understands your struggles in ways no one else can, and He has the wisdom and power to provide real solutions. Rather than seeking validation or comfort from those who may not truly understand, place your trust in the one who does. People may mean well, but they are human, and their ability to help is limited. God, however, is unlimited in His wisdom, His love, and His ability to guide you through any challenge you face. Throughout life, we all experience difficulties, pain, and burdens that weigh heavy on our hearts. In those moments, our natural response is often to turn to people for support, hoping they can help us carry the weight of our struggles. We share our worries with friends, family, and even strangers, believing that talking about our problems will bring relief. But the truth is, people are limited in what they can do. They can listen, they can offer advice, but they cannot provide the deep peace and true solutions that our hearts long for. This is why the Bible instructs us to cast our burdens on the Lord, not on the world. The Word of God is clear on this matter. In Psalm 55:22, it says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." This verse is a reminder that we are not meant to carry our troubles alone, nor are we meant to place them in the hands of people who are just as fragile as we are. Instead, we are called to give our burdens to God, trusting that He is more than able to sustain us through every trial. The world offers many temporary solutions for our struggles. Some turn to social media, pouring out their emotions online in search of sympathy or validation. Others seek comfort in the opinions of friends or even strangers, hoping to find someone who understands their pain. But what happens when the sympathy fades? What happens when the advice leads nowhere? Too often, instead of feeling relieved, people end up feeling even more empty, misunderstood, and frustrated. This is because the world was never designed to carry our burdens. Only God was. When we cast our burdens on the Lord, we place our trust in the one who knows us better than anyone else. He sees every tear, every fear, and every worry that fills our hearts. Unlike people, He does not judge unfairly. He does not grow weary of listening, and He does not abandon us in our time of need. In Matthew 11:28, Jesus invites us with these words, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Notice that He does not say, go to your friends, go to your co-workers, or go to the world. He simply says, come to me. This is because God's solutions are far greater than anything the world can offer. When we bring our burdens before Him in prayer, He gives us wisdom, peace, and strength to endure. He does not just offer temporary comfort, He provides lasting answers. The world may give us words of encouragement, but God gives us real transformation. The world may tell us to stay strong, but God is the one who gives us the strength to overcome. One of the biggest mistakes we make is thinking that we must figure everything out on our own. We try to solve our problems through human reasoning, seeking advice from one person after another, only to find ourselves exhausted and confused. But Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. God does not expect us to have all the answers. He simply asks us to trust him and lay our burdens at his feet. When we shift our focus from the world to God, everything changes. Instead of seeking comfort in human approval, we find security in God's promises. Instead of carrying anxiety, we experience his perfect peace. Instead of relying on the strength of others, we learn to lean on the unlimited strength of our Creator. So today, let this truth sink deep into your heart. The Bible does not tell us to cast our burdens on people, social media, or the opinions of the world. It tells us to cast them on the Lord. When we do, he will sustain us, guide us, and carry us through every storm. Life is full of burdens, worries, fears, struggles, and hardships that weigh us down. When we face difficulties, our natural instinct is often to turn to people for comfort and support. We look for someone to listen, someone to understand, someone to help carry the weight of our problems. But while human support has its place, the Bible makes it clear that our burdens are not meant to be placed on the shoulders of other people. Instead, we are instructed to cast our burdens on the Lord, for he alone is fully capable of carrying them. Psalm 55:22 says, cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken. This verse is not just a comforting suggestion, it is a command and a promise. God calls us to release our worries into his hands, trusting that he will not only carry them, but also sustain us through them. When we give our problems to God, we are not just seeking relief, we are demonstrating faith. We are acknowledging that he is greater than our struggles and that he has the power to bring us through any trial. Too often, people make the mistake of turning to the world for solutions. They share their burdens with friends, family, or even strangers, hoping to find relief. While talking to others can sometimes bring temporary comfort, it does not provide lasting peace. People can only offer opinions, sympathy, or limited advice, but they cannot truly take away the weight of our struggles. Some may listen with good intentions, but they do not have the power to change our circumstances. Others may judge, misunderstand, or even spread our troubles as gossip. This is why relying on human support alone is dangerous. It places our trust in those who are just as limited as we are. The Bible teaches us that God, unlike people, is all-powerful, all-knowing, and ever-present. He is never too busy, never uninterested, and never overwhelmed by what we bring to him. 1 Peter 5:7 reinforces this truth. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Notice that the verse does not say to cast only some of our worries or to hold on to them while seeking human validation. It says to cast all our anxieties on him. This means fully surrendering our burdens, not keeping one foot in worry while seeking reassurance from people. When we turn to God instead of the world, we find peace that goes beyond human understanding. Philippians 4:6-7 instructs us, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This passage reminds us that true peace is not found in human words or temporary solutions, but in surrendering everything to God through prayer. Another reason we are called to cast our burdens on the Lord rather than on people is that God has the power to bring real solutions. People may sympathize, but God can heal. People may offer advice, but God provides divine wisdom. People may offer temporary relief, but God gives lasting peace. Isaiah 41:10 reassures us of his strength, saying, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." When we trust God with our burdens, we shift our focus from the problem to the provider. We stop depending on human solutions and start relying on divine power. This does not mean we should never seek wise counsel or support from trusted individuals, but it does mean that our primary source of help should always be God. He is the one who sustains us, guides us, and carries us through every trial. Rather than turning to the world for comfort, we must learn to trust in God's promise. He calls us to lay our burdens at his feet, knowing that he cares for us, loves us, and is always in control. When we do this, we find not only relief, but also a deeper relationship with him. One built on faith, trust, and the assurance that he will never leave us nor forsake us.